Monday, May 6th, has issued a high risk of severe weather, and it is confirmed that it is causing damage. Again, it's this little area right here. If you are in this area north of Parkin, Now, hello everybody. I wanted to make a little bit of an update in regards to this weekend's winter storm, and as you're seeing on the map, very widespread area expected to get effects from this system. This is the maximum probability of exceeding the warning criteria. Very likely we're going to see a ton of winter storm warnings get out from potentially New Mexico all the way out to the eastern seaboard to New Jersey, Delaware, Virginia. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. But let's go ahead, dive into the facts, and talk about what could happen. Now, if we are taking a look at all the active winter weather alerts going on, this big swath right here across parts of from Texas all the way up into portions of Kentucky and West Virginia, these are all winter storm watches. This is still a few days off, so they haven't necessarily been upgraded to a warning just yet. But this is a huge swath, like I said, all the way from Virginia and West Virginia back into parts of Arizona. Now, we do have this, it looks like winter storm warning that was issued just a little bit ago for areas across central Oklahoma. Confidence beginning to increase with this. But from Kentucky down to Arkansas, all the way back into New Mexico, some significant snow totals are possible, especially across parts of the Ohio Valley. Significant icing across Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, potentially even into southern Kentucky, also in effect there as well, depending on where that temperature gradient sets up. So very significant situation that is unfolding. Now, on Friday evening, this thing will begin to get going, especially across parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. And if we play this run through just a little bit, we can see that beginning to, pop off as we get into early Saturday morning. That is going to be the start of this winter storm. And if we continue to play the runs through, those reds and pinks being icing conditions, those blues being snow and heavy snow, we can just see how much moisture is being forecasted with this. This is a ton of moisture stretching from Pennsylvania all the way back into parts of New Mexico. So very, very large system. Now, due to the fact we're still a few days out, something we will need to continue to monitor is where things set up, because when things have begun to trend a little bit north, especially starting to see some of those icing conditions reaching into parts of south and southeast Kentucky, depending on how intense that is, that could lead to some crippling situation, especially across parts of the Appalachian where it's very mountainous in that area. Now, here is the high resolution NAM that I do want to look at, and we can see this gives us a general idea on what we can expect. Depending on where that temperature gradient sets up, we will have icing, sleet conditions towards the south of that to areas of the north where it's relatively colder, especially with how intense this Arctic blast is going to be. We're going to have all that snow up off to the north. So definitely something we're going to have to continue to watch to see how that sets up, especially as we get into the shorter range models, because recently things have been kind of all over the place. This is not something that we've experienced before. This is very an anomalous event. So something we will just have to take into account when we continue to watch these models. Now, another thing that is going to be a significant concern and something that we don't really have to keep an eye on because it's almost guaranteed is how cold things are going to get. Up here towards the north, you are going to be freezing your butts off. It is going to be incredibly cold. If we continue to play these runs and we see how far this cold dips south, especially as we get towards Sunday and Monday, these are temperatures that are in the negatives across parts of Oklahoma. These are temperatures across Dallas, the Fort Worth area, reaching 7 degrees. One area even predicted to reach 0 degrees across central Texas. Keep in mind, this is not an exact, this is just a forecast model. Just kind of wild to see these being issued out like this on a model. But if we continue and we play this through, temperatures will remain extremely cold for days after this event, and that's going to be a problem because not only the copious amount of snow that we could see, But depending on where that icing setup is going to be a severe problem too, especially we're kind of watching this corridor right here where models have been consistent on icing conditions. And if we play this run back and I kind of show you the temperatures in this area, things aren't going to get above freezing, maybe a little bit here and there of a little elevated of a temperature, but things are going to stick. And especially with the snow and all that, it's going to be extremely problematic. And that's why a lot of meteorologists are worried about power grids failing, people's power going out, especially people with medical problems. So definitely something that we need to prepare ahead of time. If you are out and about, get things done as soon as you can if you are under one of the winter storm watches, because as soon as Friday hits, things are going to get going really quickly and you're not going to have another chance to get stuff done. Now, here are a few winter storm preparation tips if you aren't exactly sure what to do. Big things that you can do to keep yourself safe is to stock up on non-perishables, canned foods, peanut butter, things like that that you can eat quick and that won't expire quickly if there was the situation where power were to go out and you're not able to get out. Keep a first aid kit, flashlight, and charging devices such as a power bank on the ready so you can keep in communication and keep yourself safe from injury. If you have a faucet, some people may be staying somewhere else, but if you are at home and you have a faucet, something that we do over here in Kentucky is we drip the faucets so that the pops don't freeze. Apparently that works. I've not done it personally, but I know some of my family has. So apparently that works. You can give that a shot. Don't be afraid to call for help, even if that means 911. It may take some time for them to get to you, but they will get to you. Stay in contact with your family, your friends, and keep an eye on your local weather forecast from your National Weather Service office. And by all means, do not travel, as that will be the most chaotic thing you could do out of all of this. So besides that, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in and choosing us as your go-to weather place. Serious conditions beginning to unfold. Tomorrow is Thursday. As we get into Friday and Saturday, this storm is going to get going, and we're going to really be able to tune out this forecast and see who is going to get impacted. I know there is a recon flight out that's going to help put some extra data towards these models to make sure that we can get people prepared. So stay safe. You can follow me on X for live updates. Link is in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one.